everybody! Today I'm going to be painting a roper. I started painting this guy last year, but I quickly got tired of the blending that I tried to do in the tentacles. You can see there's some blending, but the colors are not pronounced enough for a good effect. So I'm going to redo him now and we'll see how much better I got. So first of all, I'm going to paint him himself. So ropers are actually creatures that mimic stalactites, and then when their prey comes, their tentacles burst out and their mouth comes out and then they kill the prey. So I'm going to paint him a very, very dark purple. I achieve this by mixing purple, brown, and a little bit of black. And it gets this close to black but not quite color. The reason I didn't start off by priming this guy is because I bought this miniature and these miniatures are pre-primed. I started off painting his eye blue because I had the intention of making his iris blue, but I'll change that later. Right now I'm just cleaning up any little bits of blue I spilled. Alright, so for his base, you might not be able to see this on your screen, but I painted it just a shade darker than the roper himself. And that can also add to the effect of light beaming down from above, and also just so you can slightly differentiate the two. Alright, so I'm actually going to paint the eye yellow because I want, for humans where the white part would be, I want that to be yellow for him. So I do a base coat of yellow, and now the eye is going to be mainly blue with purple, blue, and white highlights. I'm actually pretty happy with how this iris circle turned out, considering that I had no guidelines. So you can't see it super well, but what I'm doing is I'm taking this little embroidery needle thing, and I'm putting little bits of paint on it and just putting them in stripes on the eyeball. And I'm just doing that a lot of times so it'll create a cool layered effect. I'll show a zoom in when I finished it. Now I'm going to add in the pupil. And then just a teeny little white highlight. So now I'm going to blend the tentacles. If you can see on the right, I'm mixing the paint. And I found a good way of blending is to make 4 different colors. The lightest color, the darkest color, and 2 shades in between. So you can see how I have 4 colors there. And then you can start at lightest or darkest. And I put a little bit of the paint on each section where I want it to be. And then you can see that I blend it together. You want to make sure that your darkest color and lightest color are very, very different so that you can see this effect even when you don't have a super bright light shining on it. I'm definitely blending it now better than I did last year. It's a very different experience blending on cylinders like these. Usually I just do blending on like fur or a cape, but it's usually a flattish surface. This one's harder because you want to blend it on all sides of the circle. And as you can see, I think it's coming along quite nicely. Unfortunately, two of his right tentacles are really close together, so it's going to make it a little bit more challenging to blend, but I did manage to get by. Alright, so here's how he looks so far. You can see very obvious difference of colors from the base to the tip. And here's what the eye looks like. And I'm going to turn off my light for a sec so you can see how this looks without the super bright light. So in normal lighting, you can still see the difference between the base and the tip, which is what I was going for. However, all my blending left a lot of little pink speckles on his body, so I'm going to go in and redo the base coat to cover those up. Alright, so now I'm going to use a technique called dry brushing to add shade and the effect of light to this guy. So at first, it's very subtle. I'm sorry that he went a little bit out of camera. I forgot I was recording this. So what I do is I take a shade a little bit lighter than the base coat, and I apply it to my paintbrush, and then I take almost all the paint off the paintbrush, so just a teeny bit's left, and then I brushed it over the entire miniature. And this will create like a deepening effect because all in the crevices, the paint will be darker. So now you can see more clearly because I've gone through a lot of different like shades of white, and you can see how the top of it is beginning to look lighter. At the moment I'm doing it for all of the body, but now I'm going to start doing it for just the top of his head, which will again make it look like light is shining down from above. This is a good way to add some detail when it's just like a lot of the same thing. So now I'm going to do the mouth. I decided to do it a similar pinky color to the tentacles, which may have been a mistake. However, now that I'm painting the mouth, you can really start to see how it's going to look when it's finished. Here I'm just painting the teeth. I'm just using the usual bone color. I don't think these guys would have any fancy colored teeth in my opinion. I am surprised at how small the teeth are for this guy though. I'd imagine them to be like these huge giant chompers. Here I tried to do a little bit of blending on the mouth. It was mostly unsuccessful because you don't notice it too much, but I tried to make the top of it lighter. I added a bit of purple to my original mouth color to get the inside of the mouth, just because I don't want them to be exactly the same. And then I'll paint the tongue a little redder just to differentiate it from the others. And now time for blood. Again, my very favorite part. This guy's gonna be absolutely covered in blood because he just killed somebody. So I'm not gonna fill the whole mouth with blood because that'd be unrealistic. I'm mainly gonna pool it at the bottom of his mouth. The way I make blood is I mix red paint, red shade, and enough water that the blood flows and drips. I'm also gonna add it to the ends of his tentacles because he is a very messy eater. To make it look more natural, I'm just gonna dab it with my fingertips. Jump scare. The very last thing I'm going to do is quickly dry brush his base, again just to give it a little more detail. However, I don't want it to be as light as he is because he is taller, therefore closer to the source of light. So yeah, there he is. He looks very, very scary and very bloody. Just for fun, I coated his tentacles in water just so it looks cool and shiny, but that's not how it will always look. However, I do think there's something missing. It's all the same color. So, I painted him like this instead. This way is way more colorful and I think way funner. Which one did you like better? Alright, well thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.